Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about chatbot marketing strategy for Amazon and e-commerce sellers, getting the biggest bang for your buck. We're going to be talking about the biggest time drains for sellers. What tasks should sellers look at before starting to outsource for the first time, and how should a seller know when it's time to outsource? Well, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with
Okay, it's nice to be back again. And like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about chatbot marketing strategies today for Amazon and e-commerce sellers. Our guest is a self-made marketing maven, a dynamic mother of two, and an international entrepreneur who's run a successful business in 2 continents. She is the head of digital marketing at ManyChat, the world's largest and leading chat marketing platform. She's helped to reshape and the marketing strategies of nearly 2 million businesses around the world. Welcome our first time guest, Anna Tutckaia. I hope I said that right, Anna. Anyways, before we get to Anna, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsor. If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let Hono Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while Hono handles all the work. Visit honoworldwide.com for more information. That's Honu, Honu, worldwide.com, or email savings@honoworldwide.com. Okay, where is the boy Blunder?
That's me. Hello. Happy Monday to our beardos out there. It's great to see everyone, and can't wait for today's episode.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. So what are you supposed to be doing, Kels? What are people supposed to be doing?
All right. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you smash those like buttons, give us a thumbs up. This is a live podcast, so if you have any questions or comments at all, you can comment in the comment sections, and we will be answering all your questions over there. So if Chatbot is something that's completely new to you, you have no idea what to do, this is a great opportunity to ask your questions to the experts, and we'll get you those answers today. Also, don't forget to join our Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. We're doing something really fun and exciting in August with a webinar with Vance Lee. So that's only available for the beardos, the people in our Beard Nation. So that's how to sell $50,000 to $200,000 of pre-orders before spending $1 in inventory using crowdfunding techniques. So if you want to learn how to do that, I'm going to be posting the link in the comment sections to sign up. It's just a simple Google form. You put in your questions, answer some, fill in some multiple choice answers, and you're all set to go. But I think that's about it for me. Also, a big congratulations to our winner, Jason, for the free ticket to BDSS. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, did Jason reach out?
Jason did confirm. I think he was
Perfect.
double checking everything and making sure he can get the flights. But as far as I know, it's a success.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, let's get this thing started. Why don't we, if you do have any questions or comments, throw them over in the comments section. And if you, let me see, I just said that. This is my, I'm still getting out of Australia and this Toronto event. By the way, that Toronto event was very good. And I know I'm going down a different rabbit hole, but we talked to a bunch of people talking about Vance Lee that started their Amazon career through crowdfunding. So that's going to be a great webinar when we get to it. Anyway, sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and welcome Anna.
Hello.
Hello. How are
Thanks a
you?
lot for having me in your show.
Oh, no problem. Would love having you. This is actually a hot topic. It's been a hot topic for a couple of years now, but it's still there. It's still at the forefront of how we communicate with our customers. So I can't wait to talk to you. But just in case some of our listeners don't know about ManyChat, can you tell us a little bit about the platform?
Absolutely. So, ManyChat is a chat marketing platform. We work with a lot of over 3 million businesses so they can build automations on platforms like Messenger, SMS, email, Instagram, WhatsApp. And we're launching more and more and more with the whole idea that you, as a business, are there where your customers are, and they are on mobile, they're on chat, and they want to communicate with you this way.
I've seen a lot of digital marketers in the e-commerce space start to have a decrease in the effectiveness of traditional ads. What would you recommend they try instead?
That's a really good question. And honestly, it's not only those who are in e-commerce space, those who are in software space experience the exact same thing, right? The ad market is getting saturated. We're way back, like to the place where we need to be very creative and figure out like what can we do when ads don't work anymore. And my answer to that is always omni-channel. Like you need to stop relying on one platform, and you really need to explore and test a lot of different things. So as a marketer and head of marketer at ManyChat, we tried many other channels of acquisitions, and the ones that were the most successful for us is really diving into the basics first of all, and trying to understand who are our customers, what are their needs, and how the product meets those needs. So we build together a very solid understanding and acquisition strategy. So that's the one thing. And then once it's there, like your customer, you need to be on the channels where your customers are. So in our case, it was a lot of within the influencer marketing world. So it's something that we explored a ton, and I'm happy to share, my experience there. Outside of that, it's a lot of events that we are doing on the regular basis, not only to acquire customers, but also to retain them. And finally, making sure, that we are communicating all of those, through the channels where our customers are. And that's happening through chat, that's happening through Messenger, that's happening through Instagram DMs, and through WhatsApp and Telegram, really depending on the geolocation of our customers.
One thing that drives me crazy with any form of chatbot is people don't realize how frustrating it can be if you don't test it out yourself. And that is just to communicate. I've gone into, and I'm talking about Fortune 500 companies, that you go to and you try to use their chatbot, and they've never tried it out themselves because it's just a form of frustration. You go in there and you type in the message and it doesn't quite get it. You type in a question or a keyword, it doesn't quite get it. Then you say, well, I like to communicate with somebody, and they don't get it. And then you've got the other side of the seller or the service company that understands that communication and contact is still very important, that when you put together a strategy like this, you've got to think a little bit outside the box. Like, if I can't, or if something's not correct, that I should be able to either hit the hamburger and get the contact, or there should be a contact button somewhere so people don't get frustrated and just leave. I don't know. I think I've probably thrown 3 or 4 computers against the wall because I just can't get an answer. So what are your kind of, thoughts, best practices on that?
So I think the best practices here would be is to combine chat with a real person, honestly. And the way we look at it is people really enjoy interacting with chatbots, and there was a lot of research done where people say that. The only thing is they first of all need to understand that it's chatbot, so you need to be, proactively saying that. It's like, hey, that's a ManyChat chatbot, hey, that's a Athleta bot. And then within your chatbot, you need to build the experience that works for small interactions with the customers. So, for example, you're building out the FAQs, right?
Yep.
And within the FAQs, you can't answer all of the questions that can come up. So there should be always an option after the user go through the FAQs to chat to a real human. And that's, I think, the beauty of chatbots, where first of all, you can offer, what is already pre-built. Then you can segment out customers that come through the segment, that come through the bot, and tag them by, what they're interested in within like the product, what they potentially want to talk to you about, and how urgent, is the inquiry, and then connect it to the real human can answer, very detailed and specific questions, again, if needed. And in this way, you don't need to throw, your computer to the wall. You just have a real person that you can chat with.
Yeah, exactly. And what I should say is that when it's set up properly and it just says, click here to contact us, and one of the buttons, and it says, this company gets it. And it's just, if it's done with just going through, and the reason why I'm saying this is it's like buying your own product. If you never buy your own product, you don't understand the customer experience. If you don't go through your own chatbot, you'll never explore or understand what the customer's experience, and the strategies that we're going to be talking about today are just going to be not that effective if you just frustrate people. So that's all I've talked about chatbots, and when are people going to learn about, putting this together? And I love chatbots. I love them for like your frequently asked questions, your customer support. And that's going to be my next question. Most of the people listening to this are e-commerce or Amazon sellers, and some of them have never worked with a chatbot or used a chatbot. How are some of the strategies? What are the strategies that e-com sellers can use?
There are really a ton, right? And within e-commerce space, there are a lot of different platforms, right? We serve Amazon sellers, we serve Shopify, WooCommerce users, and then it also comes down to what business, challenge you're going to solve. So you can start, as easy as increase product sales. And the best ways, to do that is through acquiring the new customers. So for example, what the businesses are regular doing right now is they're launching Facebook ads, they're launching Google ads, and all the traffic normally goes to either the landing page or it goes to Amazon seller like product page, right? And we know that the conversion rates, like they can't go above 10%. Honestly, like it's very often below 5%, right? Because the traffic comes to the page, they get the product. Not always they understand what the product is or what the product does, and they leave the page. Previous to iOS 14 changes, you could also retarget those folks. Right now, even that is pretty challenging, right?
Right.
Like not everyone is going to click this, accept all the pixels button and please come back through retargeting ads. So what you can do instead, you can launch click to messenger ads or click to Instagram DM ads, where all the traffic would come directly to your DMs, and you can have conversations with those prospects where you can ask what products are you interested in. You can personalize your offers, and most importantly, you can also follow up, with all of those prospects within the 24-hour window, So you pretty much has the retargeting ad right there. So that would be, I think, the number one thing to consider,
Mhm.
since on top of mind of all of the businesses is how to acquire new customers.
Okay, one of our guests loves chatbots. You've probably know him, Paul Barron. He's got the
Oh,
chat
absolutely.
agency. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
great guy. I was just in Australia with him. Anyways, I know one of the things that he's doing is getting influencers. So, how can you get an influencer using a chatbot?
I think you're talking about ambassador programs and
He
influencers.
uses an
And
ambassador program. What one of the things that he does is he uses a chat, like that's just his right arm. He uses a chat bot quite a bit. I mean, he's an
mhm,
ambassador for ManyChat, I think. He
he
talks
is.
about
He's an ambassador, educator. Yeah.
yeah, he loves it. And anyways, what what I think is really cool is he leverages his customers. He leverages his repeat customers. A repeat customer likes his product. Repeat customer becomes an influencer. Then once an influencer, now a brand ambassador. And that's all 100% done through ManyChat. And it's all automated. And you're 100% right. I love what you said about letting people know that you're not talking to a live human. You're talking to, Bob the robot here, and people know that. They love interacting. Oh, I've got one other thing. How your interaction rate, I know it's extremely high. Is it still as high as it was a year or two ago?
Interaction rate, you mean like open
Engagement
rates,
rate,
click-through
open
rates,
rate. Yeah,
engagement rates? Of course, it's all of the same. So we claim that you get over 80% open rates and over 25% click-through rates, which you like can never get with email.
that's
And
crazy.
that's
Yeah,
just because, yeah, you are basically talking to your customers that are on mobile and that are on channels that they are anyways, like whether you are there or you are not. So the engagement rates are pretty out of the roofs, and you definitely don't want to miss out. But to get back to your questions in terms of how to get more influencers and how to build out the ambassador programs through chat, the way you can do that is, again, like through multiple venues. So first of all, if you are playing the organic social game and you have pretty legit accounts on Facebook or on Instagram, you can run ambassador campaigns where you build out the campaign pretty much the way you would do with or without chatbot. So you decide, okay, the goal is to onboard X amount of ambassadors, right? And in order, for a person to become an ambassador, they need to go through a qualification process. So for example, they need to have over a certain amount of followers on their social media accounts. They need to be a customer, or like they need to be within like certain niche. So like you're building that out internally. And then the second question is, how are you going to acquire those ambassadors, and how you're going to incentivize them, right? So they build out content for you, so they talk about the brand. And that's where ManyChat comes in. So you can create um, campaigns where you announce your ambassador program, let's say on your social media through Instagram stories or through Instagram reels. And then you say that, hey guys, for those who are interested, and if you want to be an ambassador, you can DM us the word ambassador and we'll send you all the details. And in this way, everyone who is interested, they're going to DM you this word, and they're going to go through the automation where, first of all, you can qualify them. You can ask, okay, cool, do you have how many followers do you have? And there would be like 3 options, and they would just need to click the button. They click the button, okay, cool, they are qualified. Then the next question is, are you interested in getting 30% off, the new product? So you can actually, or in many cases, businesses offer 100% of their next product so people can actually get it and then they can start talking about it. So then they say, yes, we're interested. They get this 100% discount, they get the product. And once they get the product, you follow up with them with content that they can use and share with their followers. And so all of that is done automatically without, any extra people on the team handling it. Just knowing how it can be very time consuming, as head of marketing at ManyChat. So all can be done through automation and chat.
What about getting those influencers to drive sales over to Shopify or over to Amazon? Other than user-generated content, have you seen where they've been able to create contents or some other types of flows where you could turn this into a specific ROI?
Influencer program honestly is the key nowadays, because influencers are folks that are trusted within their communities. So there is always, positive ROI if the program is built right. And when I'm saying if the program built right, what are the components, that I normally look at? So first of all, the influencers that you target should be the influencers with highly targeted and engaged audience. So if you're selling sports goods, there should be an influencer that within the sports space, they create very engaged and honest and authentic content that their user base trusts. And also their customers continuously communicate with the brand, and you can check it within the comment sections, the likes, their lives, how many people actually jump into their lives and listen to their content. So that's one thing. The second thing is how you build this engagement and collaboration with the influencer is very important too. If it's just one-off, ad that the influencer would run for you, I honestly think those don't work at all. So what you want to make sure is the influencer that is going to promote your product is a true believer in the product, uses the product themselves, and sees a lot of value in it, because it's not a one-touch game, right? Their followers want to see the product multiple times within the influencers' lives. If we're talking about e-commerce, then it's something that they can use, daily, I don't know, with their kids, with their families, just by themselves. If we're talking about software tool, then it should be used again, on the regular basis for their businesses. And so that the audience sees the authenticity, it's not just a sponsored product. And lastly, the third one, you want to make sure that you provide really good content for the influencers to repurpose, because influencers being contacted by brands all the time, and you probably think they're great marketers, but very often they're not. So if you make sure that you equip your influencers with best content, to repurpose and reshare with their followers, that would be the best. And also making sure that they are responsible for certain schedule for the posts, that for all the content that goes live. That's another trick to add to your toolbox.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I think I wanted to ask you whether I'm answering the questions.
You are.
Right, in terms of what you asked, because it feels like I want to add something, but I forgot what was the specific questions you asked. So if you can repeat that, that would be good.
Yeah, no, all we're talking about right now is influencers and how you can use influencers or work with influencers using ManyChat or chatbots.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think I mentioned everything here. And lastly, what is extremely important is thinking how you can scale the game once you have your influencer base, once the campaigns are launched, thinking how you can actually 10x the results. And that's when other channels come into the mix. That's where you can start using ads and use influencer generated content, so it's more authentic, compared to just direct response ads that come through the from the brand. Or you can build automation for your influencers, and so they can start using it themselves. So for example, when influencers are talking about the brand, and you can build automation, so they say, okay, if you have questions about the brand, send me the keyword, I don't know, Nike, if Nike onboarded them, and then I will answer all of the questions, and then you basically upload all the FAQs to their social media accounts. So that's another thing you can do.
One of the things I love, absolutely love about ManyChat is your channel, your YouTube channel. You have or even on the site, the training and the support that's available to show you how to build out all sorts of different flows just from A to Z is probably one of the best in the industry. So if anybody's listening and they're trying to get more information about how to do this or just to understand it, there's so many videos that are on the ManyChat site that you should take a look at. One of the other things I want to talk about, any of the listeners, you've got Anna on here. If you have any questions, now's the time to talk about it. Now's the time to ask. You've got the head of digital marketing here from ManyChat. Ask questions. So another thing, I guess, what time is it? We're about halfway through. Kelsey, where are you, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a giveaway today, and it's awesome, by the way. Anna, why don't you tell us a little bit about the giveaway?
Absolutely. So first of all, before we jump into the giveaway, what I can share with everyone who is listening, if you want to test out and try ManyChat, you can use the coupon code podcast that allows you to use all ManyChat Pro features for free. Test out the product, go through all of the video courses we have, start seeing the results fast and absolutely free. So please go ahead and do that. And another giveaway, is it something that Norm you want me to talk about now?
Sure. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
For the person who wins the giveaway, you can have a 1-hour consultation with me on digital marketing, on chatbots, on how to acquire customers, how to retain customers. Pretty much this hour is going to be yours, and we can go over the challenges you're experiencing in your business and how to solve them through digital marketing.
Fantastic. Kelsey, enter that for me, will you?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
All right. And Kelsey, what's the secret word?
All right, we're going to keep it nice and easy. It's hashtag ManyChat. So if you are interested in today's giveaway, just write in the comment section hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag ManyChat, and you'll be entered to win. If you tag 2 people, so that's using the little @ sign and writing 2 people's names, you'll get 2 entries, and we're going to be letting you know who the winner is at the end of the podcast. So again, that's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag ManyChat to enter. You need to have both of those in there, and that's to win an hour consultation with Anna. So yeah.
And that's not
Also,
something Anna just gives away. This is very special. She did it for the podcast. So I really appreciate you coming up and providing us with that hour consultation.
Yeah, I'd be definitely happy to help one of the lucky winners.
Okay, fantastic. Kelsey, we have a word from our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done for you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. Okay, Anna. One of the other things I want to talk about, especially with Amazon sellers, but this could be for any social media account, it's building a community. Amazon says that they want to build communities around brands. It's important. Are there any strategies that you can talk about that can help sellers build communities?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And specifically for Amazon sellers, and let's have it as the discussion just for me to get a little bit more ideas on Amazon sellers' business is when you are an Amazon seller, you don't get access to your final customer. That is the case. That is still the case, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest challenge that you can solve with ManyChat. And the way the businesses do that is when you send out a product to your customer, you can add the QR code, right? That would lead the customer to Messenger conversation or lead the customer to Instagram DM, depending where you build out, your organic followers. And within this conversation, you can start it with, a promo that you are offering, for the other products they can purchase or for the repeat purchase of the same product. And within that automated conversation, you can, first of all, get information of your customer, right? Do you want to get 50% off, like for the new product? Yes. Like you can ask their first name, last name, their email address, and that's how you're going, to acquire and actually own that customer. So that's the number one thing. And once you have that customer, it's pretty much up to you, right? How you want to build out that community. Do you want to lead, that person then to a Facebook group, that you build for your customers? Do you want to lead that customer to a third-party tool of your community? It all depends on your strategy. But then another cool thing our customers do is they use this conversation to generate reviews. They can use to drive referrals, right? So they recommend the product to other like friends and families and businesses. And pretty much they use the channel how you would use email marketing, but on the channel that has 80% open rates and 25% click-through rates.
We had to stick that one in there, right? Because that's still an incredible, it's incredible that you can get 25% open rates. Hey, 80% open rates, 25% click-through rates. That's fantastic. Now just imagine that, if you're listening and you're sending out like an email or direct mail or whatever, this is the absolute best way out there to engage with your customers right now. And if you're an Amazon seller new to the marketplace or an intermediate seller that's out there but is questioning yourself whether I should do it or not, I'm going to head over to Anna again and just say, where can listeners use ManyChat to get the biggest bang for their buck right now?
Where you mean where they should start with?
Yeah.
Or
probably.
like, what are they?
Where can they have the biggest impact right now for their business?
I would say really depending on where the business is at. So if you're just starting out, let's say with Amazon products, you launch them, you need to drive traffic, right, to your Amazon product pages and you need to acquire customers, then I would say start right with click to messenger ads, click to Instagram direct messages ads, and to use automation, to send traffic to your Amazon, product pages, but then also to follow up with them and to make sure, you remind about your products, with your prospects. So that would be number one thing. If the goal of yours is to start building out the Amazon reviews, then I would definitely do the QR code, build automation on that, and start sending out it as one of your, product packages, and offer a discount for the second product purchase, run through automation, and ask for Amazon reviews. That would be definitely the thing to start off. And then lastly, it doesn't, like, depending what are the community you're building, what channel you use to build your community or social media presence. If, let's say, you do it on Instagram, then definitely use ManyChat, to automate the FAQs and to answer them through the DMs, and not to overkill yourself and be there 24/7. Let the automation do that for you, and start, building the campaigns again to drive your social media followers to your Amazon product pages, so they can, transition from your followers to your lifetime long customers.
There's just it's first of all, it's so simple. Secondly, when you're working with ManyChat and acquiring these customers, like you said, they're your customers. And if you're putting this onto a product insert, which I believe everybody should be, then it's a no-brainer what you can do with this. And you can add them into so many different marketing campaigns and do the old Paul Barron, get them to become a customer, repeat customer, influencer, brand ambassador. Now, I just want to stress this. If you haven't heard Paul talk, he's been on the podcast a few times, but he has acquired almost $1 million worth of user-generated content. I believe it's $1 million in user-generated content over the past few years. Just over the last 2 years, 7,000 images that he could use. So this is all done 100% through chatbots and ManyChat. So just wanted to give you that kind of savings. He paid squat for that. He paid very, very little. And when you build out that brand ambassador program, people are actually paying you for your service, but they're just getting it. They're passionate about your product enough that they'll pay 50%, write articles, take pictures, do videos. And the other thing that I love about it that we haven't really touched on, but that brand ambassador, if you need something, let's say that you have a bad review and somebody's out there with a smear campaign, or somebody says something that's just not true, you can go out there to your group and you can just say, hey, could you do a video or an image about this safety feature? Somebody said this and it's just not true. Boom. All of a sudden, and he did this, by the way, somebody published something that wasn't true. He reached out to the group that he got from ManyChat. And over the weekend, he got 30 videos proving that what this person was saying was false. So this is the power of it. And again, I do want to reach out to the listeners right now and say, look, if you've got questions about building automation, workflows, anything at all, just reach out, ask a question. Now go ahead.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to add, I'm glad that you brought user-generated content, and that's, another thing that the businesses should definitely benefit from ManyChat is how often your customers, post and mention your brand on social media accounts. And it's just so time consuming to go through it, then to thank them for, taking the time and to repost it to your social media accounts again and again and again. And that's all can be done through ManyChat just using automation, where first of all, you can again create the campaign and ask your followers to do that, incentivize that with them, right? So you can offer, again, a coupon code or
Yeah.
any privilege from the brand. And each time someone mentions your brand, you can automatically send them a message with the coupon code. You can automatically repost their content to your social media account, so you can start using it yourself to become more authentic brand, and always to add them, to the community of your brand ambassadors, to add them to the community, that you build out to do amazing stuff that you just mentioned, like with creating content, with tapping into their knowledge base, with asking questions about the product, reviews, so on and so forth.
One of the things you mentioned at the very beginning is to make sure that the workflow doesn't sound like a robot, that it's got to sound, very natural. Anytime I'm talking to, well, a lot of the time, even for ourselves, the first time I talk about workflow or I hear the word automation, I kind of curl up in the fetal position. I get nervous. I think it's going to be hard. What can you tell people about the automation? Can they build it themselves? Do they have to outsource it? Can we go and talk a bit about that?
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of the product, that you don't need to get any engineering knowledge or experience to build out automation. It's a plug and play solution where you can, first of all, start with a lot of templates. When you get on the platform, there are options of different templates to use that you can download and just play around, fill out the forms, and see, how it works for your business. So that's one thing. The other thing is there are a lot of resources, as you mentioned, on YouTube, or there is a free ManyChat video course that you can go through and just become an expert in the product. Lastly, there is a Facebook group that you can always join. It has over 100,000 people
Wow.
there answering your questions and helping you out to, first of all, define where to start. So you can share with them, hey, here's where I am at my business. That's my goal. How can I solve it with automation? How can I solve it with ManyChat? And there would be a ton of experts and educators like Paul Barron helping you out and suggesting different tips and tricks on how to use the platform. And lastly, there are a lot of agencies. Again, if you go to the ManyChat page and you find the agency page, you'll see a lot of agencies that serve different industries. So that if you don't want to build out automation yourself, you can always hire experts that can do it for you.
Very good. Are there, when somebody comes to your Shopify, like I know there's two different ways of acquiring customers, like one at Amazon, driving them over with the insert. But if you have your Shopify store, somebody comes over to the store and they start the flow going, what would you recommend? Would you have just like the customer support, the FAQs? What other items would you put in there?
So first of all, yeah, I would build a website widget where I would add FAQs, where I would respond to, all the fears that the prospect has, before purchasing your product. And you as a business owner know it the best. Either like why the product is so expensive, and then you can tell them the story, how the product is being developed, where all the beautiful ingredients are coming from. Or, for example, add more testimonials of customers that used the product in the past and had a lot of success to that. So making sure you address, all of those unknowns that you probably already have on the landing page, but then not everyone scrolls down, right? So you want to make sure that it's there as a website widget. And for those who don't want to scroll down, like you can answer it within that box. So the second thing you can do is you can connect your Shopify store with the bot. So you can pull the abandoned cart messages not just by sending out the emails, but by sending out those in Messenger or Instagram DMs. How cool is that, right? You don't need to open your email. You just go to your Instagram, and then there is, boom, like a message from the brand that says you actually left, a couple of items in the cart.
Yeah.
Like, we can help you, we can help you with checkout. And then within this automation, you can not only offer like the discount code, but you can ask them like what prevented them from purchasing the product right away, and have multiple, options to answer whether I don't have enough product information. And then again and again, you can iterate on, the product. Or I'm not sure about the shipping, like, am I going to receive it within 1 or 5 business days? And then you can again answer those questions and then get the customer back to checkout. So that's another, cool thing you can do. And then finally, the exit pop-up. If someone gets to your, Shopify page, they don't, they decide to exit the page without purchasing, you can get the exit pop-up, but not just with, email where like it's all going to be lost and you'll get like 5% open rates, but sending those to chat and addressing, reminding and going through the same cycle as I have already discussed.
When I think of ManyChat, I don't think about that. I don't think about the add to cart, the last one, the exit pop-up that you were talking about. And what a great idea. It's just, they're simple sales. Why didn't you, or here's a 10%, or give us a reason. Yeah. Give us a reason why you didn't buy it. These are all things that you need to know. First of all, you need to know. Second of all, this is a question. Can you put, let's say that you were giving away free shipping at $50. They were at $39. Could you target them and say, hey, you were just $10 off free shipping. Why don't you, click here, get that, and plus get 10% off or something like that? Could you create a flow like that?
Let me
just
think about
reminding
it.
people.
You can definitely create a flow on that. So within this flow, you can segment out the users who added the product that is less than, let's say, $50. And when they didn't go through the checkout process, you can use that knowledge and create a very personalized message that will go to their Messenger or Instagram DM and ask them, did you guys leave the cart because you didn't get to $50, free shipping? And then they will answer yes or no. And then depending on what you want to do, either, still offer the free shipping for the product that is less than $50, or maybe offer an upsell of the more expensive product that your customers will still benefit from, even more. So it really depends to your business, but you can definitely do that. I like this idea.
Yeah, and especially even the upsell, downsell, cross sell. Everything that you're talking about are things that we talk about in ecom that could just drive extra sales. If you could do stuff, if you do, and this is outside of ManyChat, but if you could do it within ManyChat, you can drive your average order value through the roof, double it easily, if you can do an upsell, downsell, cross sell, usually on your, especially in Shopify or something like that. We try to do that all the time. Okay, so if you do have any questions, please pop them in. We'll be answering them in a couple of moments. Then we'll be getting to our giveaway. First of all, if you like what you just heard, I'd love to hear from you. These are a couple of things that I never really thought of that ManyChat could do. And I don't know why Paul has not told me about this, but I'm going to be checking it out for our own brands. Kelsey, do we have any questions?
Yes, we have a couple questions that came in. Let me see. The first one from Yanni. Things to avoid when doing a sequence. Are there any things that you see sellers do that maybe isn't the best for them?
Yeah, in terms of things to avoid, I would say the rules of the product and also of the Meta, because we are a partner of Facebook, a partner of Meta, and there are some guidelines that you need to follow. The first one is you need to get approval from the platform to communicate with your ManyChat or Chatbot subscribers outside the 24-hour window, saying that if someone comes to the bot and you remind them about the product within 24 hours, but you also want to create promotions that will run outside of this window, you need to ask the permission of the customer to do so. And there are many creative ways to do that. So for example, if you're within health and wellness space, you're selling, I don't know, meditation products, right? What you can do is you can ask the customer is, by the way, we are creating this content for meditation that you can benefit from. Do you want us to send it to you every week or every month? And if the user says, yes, please do so, then you are open to communicate with this customer, every week or every month, depending on what they agreed on. So that, I would say, the biggest rule to follow, that you can't do that without their permission. And it is actually very beneficial for your brand, because you really want to have customers, within your channels that are excited to get content from you, right? That will help with this engagement rate, that will be, a part of your community, that it's not a one-sided conversation. It's more of the, back and forth with the customer. So that, I would say, would be the biggest one.
Yeah, it's like the emails, when email campaigns go out and people unsubscribe. Don't worry about the people who unsubscribe. All you're doing is you're concentrating the people who really want your product. It's exactly the same thing. And one of the other things I was thinking about when you were talking about that is just either a loyalty or VIP program, extended warranty. But hey, you want to join our VIP program? You'll get additional updates, promos, discounts, limited edition. Like for me, I sell soap, so limited edition products. And it shouldn't be a problem to really get people who like your product to get on the list.
100%.
Yeah. All right, Kels, next question.
Okay, our last question is from Rich. It's more of an Amazon question, I would say, so maybe Norm. But any tips to ensure we stay within Amazon TOS when it comes to chatbots?
Do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, one thing that actually comes to mind is I mentioned generating reviews, and I know that there are a lot of challenges with this within Amazon space. So making sure you're not using any tricks on generating the reviews that are not the actual reviews, that you are not offering any money for these reviews or free product for these reviews, that you are still following all the Amazon guidance, that you can just scale through using chatbots.
Yeah, it's not against TOS to ask for a review. Now, I've heard that it's best if you don't, but it's not against TOS. You can ask for a review. It's exactly like you said. You can't offer them money for a review. You can't incentivize the review. It's just got to be a review. And it's the old, you can't click one link if it's good and one link if it's bad. It's just got to be a review. No problems with asking for that. The other thing is you can, like I was mentioning before, you can get people to join not a loyalty, an extended warranty. Drive them over, get their email for an extended warranty. Not a big deal. I see a lot of people sometimes squirming about what you can and can't do with inserts or with chatbots, but a lot of it is just it just makes sense. If you got that feeling in your stomach that you're doing something wrong, you're probably doing something wrong. If it's above board and you're just you're getting it for, oh, here's an extended review, or here's an extended warranty for a year, or here is my loyalty club where you can keep people informed, updates. Maybe with me it might be soap recipes, who knows. But yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. But if you're offering incentives, that would be a whole different ball game. Okay, is that it? Any other questions, Kels?
We had a comment from Yanni just come
Yeah.
in, and he said, if you could only talk to the people who want to unsubscribe, you can convert them to an even higher ticket product. And let me see. Michael Eastman says, great show. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
And he entered his Wheel of Kelsey. So yes, we just have a few more minutes until our Wheel of Kelsey. So make sure you have hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag ManyChat in order to enter today's giveaway for an hour consultation with Anna. And let me see. This is, in quotations, don't offer, request, or accept compensation for creating, editing, or posting content. Compensations included free and discounted products, refunds, and reimbursements. So I believe that's in the Amazon TOS.
Yep. So that's everything we were saying. So one of the things you do not want to do here is build up your group and start using it as a rebate program. I know, people were doing that, and Amazon was quick to reply. This is not a rebate program. It's not a way to do that. You're not looking. You're not looking to create a network of discounted people. Matter of fact, you could segment your list too. If you do have people that are driven over from a discount, you could segment that list, and you can have the full price people, the discounted people, when you are trying to put together and understand your audience. But I'm not sure who wrote that, but that's correct. Who was that, Kels?
That was Yanni.
Yanni, yeah. So that's absolutely 100%. Okay, so I think that's it for today, unless Kelsey.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Then we just go to our last sponsor, and then we'll go over to the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right. Sounds good.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. Okay. Anna, sit back. You've never seen the Wheel of Kelsey.
I'm excited to see what that is.
Okay, enjoy.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, here we go.
All right, so thank you everyone who entered today's giveaway. Let me shuffle up the names. We do this every single podcast, so if you don't win today, you can always come back on Wednesday and enter again. So if you are the winner, please email kate@lunchwithnorm.com, and the winner,
of course,
is Christine.
Christine gets it again.
Congratulations.
That is a fantastic prize, Christine. So enjoy your time with Anna. I'm sure you're going to learn a ton.
I am so excited, Christine. We're going to have a lot of fun.
All right, Anna. One thing, how do people get a hold of either you, or if they want to get involved with ManyChat, who should they be contacting?
Absolutely. In terms of ManyChat, go to manychat.com. Again, use the promo code podcast that you fill out during the checkout process, and check out our free video course. You're going to learn a lot, not only on how to implement, but what are the use cases you can potentially, tap into with your business. So check that out for sure. If you want to get connected with me, you can find me on LinkedIn as Anna Tutckaia. I always answer, to the messages. Just let me know that you are from Lunch with Norm podcast, and we can have a conversation or discussion on any topic.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I thought it was a great topic today, and I hope to have you back on soon.
Thanks a lot for having me. I really enjoyed the discussion.
All right, Anna. Well, thank you once again, and thank you for everybody for listening. Kelsey, do you want to come on?
I sure do. Yes, thank you, everyone. Christine says thanks. She's looking forward to using this, and it's an informative show. Michael, thank you. He says it's a great show. Glad everyone enjoyed today's episode. If you do have podcast suggestions or topic suggestions for future episodes, please let us know. What are you looking to learn more about with your Amazon and e-commerce business? And yeah, let me know. You can email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com. We might even make a post in the Facebook group and see how everyone's feeling. So that's the Lunch with Norm, Amazon, FBA, and e-commerce collective. It's there going along the bottom. And hope you guys enjoyed. Also want to mention that we do have our free training August 18th. This is with Vance Lee. He's been on the podcast before, but he's going to be teaching the Beard Nation with this free training session about crowdsourcing so you can pre-sell before spending $1 on inventory. So if you'd like to learn more, let us know and enter this link. It's a Google Forms sheet where you can fill out your information so you get notified when that webinar is. So awesome. Thank you. I believe that's Yanni A++. Thank you. And Cindy says thank you as well. Thank you guys so much. And I think that's it. If you haven't yet, please smash those like buttons. Give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions at all, you can let us know in the Facebook group or email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com.
All right. Very good. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And you can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. We've got a great guest coming over, Manol Gregov. He's going to be here. He's another person I met. He was actually the very first event I ever went to is where I met Manol. And he's probably one of the top people in his niche, and that's in Facebook marketing. Anyways, he's going to be talking about some incredible things that he's done, as well as how he brought a pretty much dead brand back to life, back to $20-30 million. I forget the exact figure, but using Facebook. Anyways, we'll be talking about that on Wednesday. So thank you, everybody, for being part of the community. Thanks for listening today. We could not do this without our community, our fantastic community, and we will be talking to you soon.
Lunch with